Welcome to Gran Turismo 4, a game where progression revolves around buying a cheap car and using it to earn credits, which then provides the opportunity to purchase higher and higher performing vehicles, until eventually you become unstoppable. Today we're going to throw a wrench into that progression system with what I am affectionately calling the Diet Challenge. And this challenge comes with a few rules. First, each car we hop into must be lighter than our current vehicle. Second, we can only swap our vehicle at the time of acquisition. No holding onto a car until we need it at a later date. And third, so we can't just power our way out of the handicap, nitrous is not allowed. So with that, let the run begin. We start off with 10,000 credits, but honestly, that's not going to cut it. So to earn more, we take a quick trip over to the license centre and pick ourselves up the B license. The completion of this license also rewards us with a couple of prize cars, which we can unload to increase our available credits, upping our new disposable income to 26,572. That's plenty of cash to find our first vehicle, so with a quick trip over to the used car dealership, we spot our starter car, the amazing Mitsubishi 3000 GT, with a total weight of 1,710 kilograms. Purchasing the car, we lock in our new weight limit. With just under 5,000 credits remaining, we decide to invest in a new exhaust system for the car, before heading over to take part in our first event. Unlike most playthroughs, we're going to start our career by entering the 4-wheel drive challenge. As the countdown completes, our first race is underway, and I've done it again. There'll be hell to pay in the comments for this. Despite forgetting an oil change, the raw power contained in the Mitsi slowly begins to yield results as it moves its way forward through the grid. The main downside we have to contend with is that the weight of the car makes it a bit of a brick on wheels, and with the soft suspension, it certainly handles like it. It's due to that characteristic I shall name you Bricky. We still manage to reach a podium spot, and before long, we're fighting to move ourselves up into second place, leaving just a single launcher standing between us and victory. But this lead opponent is determined not to fall as easily as our other competitors, and maintains his lead right up to the second lap, showing us that he too has a decent amount of raw power. At the end of the start-finish straight, we enter the corner a bit too hot, fighting all manner of understeer to keep our wheels on the tarmac, successfully claiming first place. Now with our car in the state that it is, we find it very difficult to pull out a decent lead from our opponent. But eventually, the finish line appears, and with that, we win. Alright, yellow shirt man, time for you to stop people yelling at me. Good work. Changing the oil should be more than enough for our car to stand a chance in tackling the Clubman Cup. Here we go. Bricky definitely feels a lot more lively now, even though it's still carrying all that weight about. The new engine oil has made a significant improvement. We waste no time in putting this new potential to work as we quickly power past opponents as we make our way towards a podium spot. The final two remaining cars may appear to have quite a lead on us, but it quickly shrinks due to our newfound power, and by the end of the first lap, we are in a position to claim the final two cars in a single move. We move right to the outskirts of the track, hoping to complete the move before we run out of space. Once complete, we quickly pull back onto the main part of the track, attempting to reduce speed before we hit the next corner. It could have gone better. We managed to recover from the rear braking loose, retaining our first place position. That mishap though, has brought to light the sad state of our suspension. And as soon as the race ends, we make our way over to the tuning shop and improve the vehicle through the addition of more power, a computer chip, intercooler, and port polish. This new performance boost has made the rest of the event a walk in the park. Sorry, accident. Clubman Cup complete. Making quick progress, we decide to continue that trend by diving straight into the Turbo Cup. I'm not gonna lie, it did not go well. We struggled to stay in front of the final two cars, not once reaching a podium spot. We were forced to abandon our attempt at the Turbo Cup and make further improvements to our vehicle. Finally, we take care of that suspension, improving the handling. Next, we upgrade the gearbox. In fact, while we're here, let's do all the transmission upgrades. Are we smart enough for that to also include an LSD? No. Can't go wrong with a bit of extra power, so let's slap a Stage 1 turbo, taking our horsepower up to 424. Back to the Turbo Cup we go, hoping that these further improvements to Brookie are gonna help us knock this championship off the list. The car feels more stable and responsive, with Brookie easily gliding around the corners compared to our previous attempts. The added power is also helping us keep pace with our opponents on the straights, fixing another of the issues that was keeping us from victory. We've already reached 4th place, our previously highest held position, and the podium spots are next on our list of targets. The one improvement we didn't make to our car was the brakes, which causes us to do probably the least sportsmanly dive bomb of all time. I'm not giving those positions back though, we're keeping 2nd, and going on the hunt for 1st, a lighter and more nimble Toyota Supra. We close the distance through the technical section of the track until we are right behind our next victim. We follow closely down and then up the long straight sections until we spot our opening at the first corner of the final lap. Somehow, our stock brakes managed to slow our heavier block of a car better than our opponent, and we squeezed through on the inside, claiming 1st place for ourselves. Now we just need to hold off that Supra and the amazing WRX, which is closing in from behind, until the lap comes to a close, and we cross the line in 1st place, winning the Turbo Cup. The completion of that championship also rewards us with a prize car of decent value, giving us a bunch of disposable income. Let's see what we can do. We can't afford to lose 200 kg of weight, so sadly, this car will always be a boat. The best we can do is slap on the biggest turbo available, turning it into a power boat. Best to make that power controllable, so let's add some downforce to Brookie as well. With that, I think we are ready to head on over to the professional events and tackle the Supercar Festival. These will be the most powerful cars that Brookie is going to be going up against this run. But with almost double the horsepower of the entry conditions, we should stand a decent chance, even though we are still lugging around the combined weight of 4 actual horses. Only a few corners into the race, and we have already claimed ownership of a podium spot, with our eyes focused on the 2 remaining positions just up in front of us. As we enter the final straight of the first lap, we dive into 2nd place, and it's only a couple of corners later that we make our next move, claiming 1st. Now it's just a matter of increasing the lead between us and 2nd place, a process that works well as we quickly build up a substantial buffer. Turns out, we're really going to need it, as by the start of the final lap, our tyres are toast. Almost immediately upon beginning the lap, our buffer starts to be eaten away, putting pressure on me to lap quickly. But with the car basically now on rims, I make mistakes. Multiple mistakes. Brookie struggles to put the power down, creating a large smoke cloud from what remains of his tyres. But eventually, the grip kicks in, and we narrowly manage to retake the lead for a win. Supercar Festival, done and dusted. Brookie is almost ready for retirement. But before that happens, we have one more championship we require him for. The Tuning Car Cup. Before we begin, we're going to head back to the tuning shop one last time, upgrading the brakes, adding a bit more power, and due to our previous struggles with tyre wear, we're going to purchase a set of racing hards to get us through the championship in one piece. An 800 plus horsepower 4-wheel drive launch immediately points out just how overpowered we are for this event. And it's this single fact that makes it incredibly embarrassing when out of nowhere the S2000 nudges us off to the side as he flies past in the corners. We just can't make good use of our power through the technical portion of the track. But there's no need to worry, as Tokyo has an absolutely massive start-finish straight. So as soon as we manage to put down power, we fly back into the lead, and just like that, we win. Brookie, you have served us well, but it's now time we part ways, allowing you to begin your new career as a boat anchor. This allows us to go in search of our new vehicle, And we find it in the shape of a Toyota Tacoma X-Runner, which we quickly snap up, lowering our total allowable weight limit to 1,687 kg. By now, we're rich. So without hesitation, we decide to slap on any performance part with a price tag, improving our truck to be as good as it can be, except for the weight reductions. Before you know it, the Tacoma is ready to start tackling events, starting with the FR Challenge, an event which falls without any semblance of difficulty, allowing us to quickly move onwards to the Pickup Truck Challenge. This event also turns out to pose no real challenge, but it does give us the opportunity to do something for the benefit of mankind. Sorry, accident. That little distraction may have put us behind the rest of the grid, but with our excessive power, it doesn't take long for us to reclaim all of our lost positions, ending up taking victory over the event. Meanwhile, the SSR The Tacoma is clearly on a winning streak, so we decided to continue its journey by entering the naturally aspirated cup. Hopefully this won't be a mistake, as the competition turns out to be much stronger here. And may I remind you that while we've added a bunch of power, this truck is still sitting on its default weight, making it somewhat of a lumbering beast when it comes to the corners. Yep, power is going to be our best friend for this event, and surprisingly, we seem to be able to gain ground during every straight as we hit a podium spot on the first lap with our sights set on second. Come on Tacoma, get that position. Nope, we gotta back out. Failing to take the position on the start-finish straight, we resort to outbraking him into the chicane. Second is now ours, just one final car to go. Before the end of the lap, we manage to creep our way up behind him and begin looking for our opportunity. With the start-finish straight coming around once again, maybe this time we can successfully complete the overtake. Nicely done, Tacoma. With that, we've taken first place, and shortly afterwards, we complete the entire naturally aspirated cup. It's time that Tacoma retired though, so it's taken out behind the shed and replaced by a Bug-Eye WRX at a weight of 1,430 kg. Straight away, we get started on the upgrades for our new car. Since you can't half-ass the WRX, this also includes full weight reduction. Yep, all three stages of it, setting our new weight limit down to 1,215 kg. Now, sadly, there is only one single event that this car is required for, the Boxer Spirit Cup. Hong Kong, not a track I perform particularly well at, but the WRX, who doesn't want to disappoint, begins to point out just how fun this track can be when you don't take it so seriously. With that, we begin gaining positions and eating tyres on our way towards the podium positions. This race is clearly not going to be a challenge for our WRX, as it is obviously overqualified for the event. But that got me thinking, why the hell didn't I use this for the other difficult events, instead of struggling with Brookie for all this time? Ah well, too late for that now. Time to focus on getting these last two positions. One down. Can we get the next one? There is no stopping this WRX, so before you know it, the Boxer Cup is complete. Right, our cash is looking low, and even selling our price car doesn't help much. WRX, you get to stay useful slightly longer as you build up our reserves. Great job! Now go away, helping our reserves just a little bit more. Okay, we own nothing. Let's fix that. Heading over to MG, we decide to purchase ourselves a brand new TF160 as our next vehicle, setting a new weight limit of 1,150 kg. That of course is pre-upgrades, as in what is becoming somewhat of a dangerous trend, we're purchasing some weight reduction for our vehicle. 3 stages again. Really? Okay. New weight limit, 1012 kg. That seemed unnecessary. Hopefully, we can get our use out of it at the MR Challenge Cup. It's at this point the drop in weight starts to become linked to a drop in power. While that's not so much of a problem for these events, as the opposition is weak and we are seeing an improvement in handling, there is one event in the near future that's going to require a certain amount of grunt just to remain competitive. I'm sure you know which one. For now though, our plucky little MG is doing the job remarkably well, quickly manoeuvring its way into taking all the positions within the first lap, and walking away with an incredibly easy victory over the entire MR Challenge Cup. Next up, we move our way down to the Spider and Roadster Challenge Cup, searching for a more fun, exciting and competitive race to take part in. We don't find it here. There's only a few corners into the race, and the lead is ours. Perhaps then, the challenge is to be found in the World Compact Car Race. Nope, this one was the easiest of the lot. Golden trophy achieved. MG, you bore me. I'm switching it up to a car that will entertain me regardless of the competition. Hello, old friend. Let's pay whatever the seller is requesting so that we can purchase you as our next vehicle. With that, our weight limit is now set at 900 kg. Ooh, that's getting low. With upgrades purchased, it turns out that once again, I'm heading to the weight reduction section. 1 stage? That's okay, I guess. 2 stages? Okay. 3 stages? No? Okay. Well, this must have been the point at which my common sense kicked in. Still, our weight limit has dropped down to 846 kg. Front wheel drive challenge? Here we come! Now I cannot state enough just how much fun this car is to throw around the track. Honda City, please forgive me. During this playthrough, there are hard races and there are easy races. Every race for this car definitely falls onto the easy side of that scale. Taking first place is certainly a simple accomplishment as we run through our quest to complete the front wheel drive challenge. Right afterwards, we shoot over to the World Classic Car competition and absolutely wipe the floor with our opponents, as yet again, we easily add another completed championship to the list. Sadly, time to say goodbye to our Honda and move on to picking ourselves up a brand new K-car. After a quick browse through the Japanese market for an acceptable vehicle, we have settled on the Suzuki Alto Lapin Turbo for its use in this run. So, after purchasing it, we lock in our new weight limit of 840 kg. As usual, upgrades are instantly added to the vehicle to improve its performance. But that is when I make a catastrophic error in judgment, as we head over to visit the weight reduction screen. For some reason, I decided to buy Stage 1 and Stage 2 reduction. Sure, we don't end up purchasing the 3rd level, but it didn't matter. At that point, the damage had already been done. New weight limit, 789 kg. Down to the lightweight cup we go, oblivious to the disaster that was waiting for us as soon as this championship was complete. A fully upgraded vehicle here is really overdoing it, and not at all required. So with little hassle, we easily outperform the opponents and finish the lightweight championship full of confidence. A quick brief on how I approach these challenges. It involves using this wonderful site to do extensive research on which cars will match my limitations. This is how I found my next and final car, the Chaparral 2D. This site truly is an incredible Gran Turismo resource, second only to whatever is going on in T. Kanji's head. The problem is that in this extremely rare occurrence, it lied to me. Well, this is certainly a problem. Perhaps I could use the 2J instead. Well, that would have worked if I hadn't reduced the weight of my K car. Now, that ship has sailed. It's at this point that I entered panic mode, frantically trying to find any vehicle that could potentially win the Gran Turismo World Series, while also weighing less than 789 kg. I would like to introduce you to the Gillette vertigo. This car can actually be found competing in the World Series. It has an incredible 897 horsepower, and most importantly, it weighs just 780 kg, 9 kg less than our limit. These factors make it the perfect choice for the final part of our challenge. At least, that's what I would have said if I'd remembered this car existed, or done my due diligence in finding it. No. Sadly, I went in a much worse direction. This is a Lotus Elise, and it will not be our final car. We purchased it out of desperation, setting our new weight limit to 700 kg. This is before upgrades, of course, because since I refuse to learn lessons, as soon as all other upgrades are added, we once again visit the weight reduction centre and purchase all 3 levels, setting our new weight limit down to a mind-boggling 637 kg. We now need to achieve 25% total completion, so it was time for us to start hitting up any eligible uncompleted event. This mark unlocks endurance races, which range from the smaller 2-hour events right up to the nausea-inducing 24-hour events. Guess which one we need to enter? What became noticeable almost immediately was just how bouncy this car behaved around the track, making it incredibly difficult to control when attempting to push hard. To counter this, I tried raising the car to its max height and tuning the springs to be as soft as possible in the hopes that it would absorb many of the bumps. To my dismay, it made no noticeable difference whatsoever. Fine, I guess we're going to have to grasshopper this thing around the track for the next 24 hours. About 1 minute into the first lap, and we've managed to bounce our way into a 3rd place podium spot. But the final 2 cars, well, they seem to have created quite the lead from the rest of the pack. A minute and a half later though, we have closed that gap on 2nd place, and as soon as we spot an opening, we spring into action, quite literally. Taking 2nd place and setting our focus on closing the gap between us and 1st. By the time the race counter hits about 3.5 minutes, that gap has been closed, placing us right behind the lead car. It doesn't take long until 1st place leaves us an opening on the inside, allowing us to squeeze our way through and into the lead. Great! So, what do we do for the other 23 hours and 56 minutes? After increasing our lead, the 3rd lap comes to a close, and with it, the lifespan of our tyres, forcing us to enter the pits for a fresh set. It doesn't appear like 2nd place is quite ready to pit yet. Therefore, the question will be, who's going to be in the lead once this pit stop is complete? Come on team, work faster, he's right on us. Leaving the pits, we learn a valuable lesson about hitting the gas too soon, as we narrowly avoid going straight into a wall, but unfortunately, still allowing the Audi to retake its lead. We're clearly the faster car here, so it doesn't take us long before we have caught right back up to him, quickly speeding past and reclaiming our rightful position. So time to start rebuilding that lead over the next 3 laps. Before you know it, we're coming to the end of lap 6. So once again, we're heading back to the pits. We don't need to worry about 2nd place this time either, because just as we're leaving, it's time for him to enter the pits. By lap 38, we're behind the Audi again. Only this time, we're a lap up on him. So completing the overtake, we really lock in some security for our position. Lap 65, and we're at it again, approaching the Audi for the 2nd time. And once again, we managed to pass on the inside. A 2-lap buffer is now ours for security. We continue to improve our performance, and by the 10-hour mark, we could drive this track in our sleep. I'm not 100% sure that I haven't been for the past couple of hours. At this point, everything has become one big monotonous blur, because we've been going around the same track now for 84 laps. With an almost 3-lap lead, perhaps it's time to make a pit stop and allow B-Spec Bob to take a crack at the track, allowing us some much needed rest. According to the game statistics, Bob has never spent a single second behind the wheel of a car. And here we are, trusting him to finish this race off for us. Still, even he couldn't lose the lead I've managed to build up, despite his best efforts. Good work, B-Spec Bob. Don't need to take you up behind the shed. Completing that endurance race has awarded us the Formula Gran Turismo. Obviously we're switching to this, setting our new weight to 550 kg. This is it, time for the Gran Turismo World Series. Clearly this isn't going to be a challenge. This car is so damn fast. The problem is that it's going to make the final race a bit anticlimactic. Okay, new goal then. Time to show off by not only getting first place, but much like the endurance race, we're going to lap everybody here to assert our dominance. The opponents get easily lapped, and although our tyres are starting to fade, we have successfully lapped everybody. Sorry second place, you may be right behind me, but you're out of time. This is the final corner. No. No. No! My pride! Gran Turismo series complete. Unlocking a Ford GT race car that I can't use. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the challenge, please drop a like, as it really helps tell YouTube to share this video with others. Until next time, bye!